Everybody wants fancy suspension on their motorcycle. They want all the adjusters. They turn their nose up to bikes. They don't have that stuff. Then you give them a bike with adjusters and they never adjust it. Or they'll say, I'll pay an expert to do it. I'll just have it custom set up, in which case it really doesn't matter if you have a bunch of adjusters. Although I can't say much myself because I've had this bike over a year and only just played with the suspension about 2 days ago on it. So let's go ride around on one of my racetracks here and see if I made it good or if I messed it all up. Put some heat in the tires here real quick. There's some of you right now are going, Jake, how are you going to sit there and adjust your suspension and not make a video about it instead of make a video telling us you did it? I don't know, I'm a bad person. Honestly, this bike didn't need a lot of adjustment from what I can tell. I feel like if I'm gonna film one, I wanna kind of film one that's like, maybe it needs a lot. Of course, then we'll probably actually want to do valing and spring rates, so. I don't know, bro, my bad. I just knew it was a little soft, particularly the rear. I don't have the confidence on the front right now. The rear actually feels really good. Suspension. Nobody wants to mess with their suspension, but they all want suspension you can mess with. The industry has figured that out, and so they put adjustable suspension on a lot of bikes these days. It's like barely adjustable. Combined function knobs and things like that and adjusters, where you can only really do like big adjustments at a time, not like fine tuning. Or honestly, dude, if I'm a motorcycle manufacturer and I'm trying to make like a cheap, like make the cheap version, right? Like you got the cheap Gixxer 1000, you got the cool one with the better suspension. Did I literally just make it where like the adjusters just spin, they don't do anything? Don't claim they're adjustable. Just show a picture with that knob and that thing on there and say nothing. You could get away with it. You just could.
Nobody's gonna know.
I think a lot of people, you look at it like this, right? You go, well, this bike comes with really good suspension. I don't need to mess with it. It's already good. That's all the more reason to play with it, because you can probably dial it and get it good. But I think a lot of people will say, yeah, but I just don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to mess it up. You gotta like just know what the factory settings are, or at least check what yours there are before you play with it, which is literally take a screwdriver, turn the adjuster inwards, but don't say inwards, all the way until it bottoms out. It's gonna click, 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 and you count the clicks, then go back out that many clicks, and then you write it down. My rebound adjuster is 15 clicks out, right? That way, if you want to start playing with it, and you go, oh, I don't know, it's awful, just put it back the way it was. Really good suspension, like this bike, you'd have high and low speed compression, preload and rebound. I'm not gonna sit here on the bike and try to give you like a lesson about what those all do. Me sitting here rambling about them while riding isn't gonna help you any. I will tell you the starting point, and what stopped me from messing with this bike for so long is I want to know what the sag should be set to. That's like step one. What is the sag? Not Screen Actors Guild Awards. For me, that's like step one, which really affects the rear. Get the sag right, and if the static sag is then wrong, then that's usually a tell sign of that you need a different spring. And it's funny how many times I've set that up on people's bikes and they go, yeah, it's just the rear, the front's fine. It's like, you think the front's fine until I set your rear correct that you say is way off. Then you're gonna go, oh, what the hell? What is their thing? 750, 1,000? Oh, it's 1,000. They're building something over here. I want to see if I can sneak in somewhere. So far, we just pulled in, so you don't act stupid immediately, because there's obviously a lot of people here. You go, I just saw some road to pull down. I didn't know y'all were still working on this. Possible Homeland Security is paying attention now, but I haven't crossed the line. It's right there. Oh, what a clean, pretty parking lot. Once I get the preload set good, like I said, that's kind of step one. I might play with my adjusters a little and might do a little bit of this and that. Feels pretty good. If we cranked it a ton, I might do a little bit more to the front, but not until you get it out here and really ride it, you can tell the difference. Like I said, for me, the step one is to get the preload right. The problem is I could not find the number for this bike. Sherco's pretty cool. They put all the info out there, but you know what they don't put is they don't put any of the info for the Supermoto model. What y'all up to? Yeah. What's up, man? What y'all building for the airport? Yeah. It's a good parking lot for me right now. I know it is. Y'all on break?
No, we're go home. We're talking.
Yeah, oh man, it's too hot to be talking. There's no AC in there, is there? Little bit right now. Sherco, it's from France. It's a 500. Yeah, man. Y'all have a good one. Take care, man. Supermoto version, even the Sherco's kind of like a redheaded stepchild of a bike. Supermoto version, that's just like an appendix in the 500 Enduro model. And they do put some cool information in there, except for the suspension, which is funny. Like the Enduro one, they actually put all this stuff. And not only they give you preload and your static and your normal, everything you would want to know. They even kind of give you like hard, medium, and soft settings. I think there might even be some weight settings I found on one of their manuals. The Supermoto, there's no like appendix on there. So then what happens is you're like, I don't know what to do. So I went and looked. I remember I went and looked on Racetech's website. Racetech, even if you don't buy their stuff, gives you, like, you can plug in rider information and all this stuff. Dude, Racetech's website's one of my favorite ones for this stuff. They don't have the Supermoto version in there. They got the normal Sherco, but they don't have the Supermoto one. Then I hit up Technical Touch, who does a lot of KYB stuff, who technically it's Technical Touch would have advised them for the valoring on this or whatever. I mean, they have it's like built by Technical Touch. I don't know that, I don't think these were like KYB forks came from Technical Touch. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that was the case there. That's a big old parking lot over there, but there's way too many people over there. Woo! What you gotta love about Supermoto, you can like crank it around a parking lot 1 minute and then like be doing stuff like this the next. But yeah, I emailed Technical Touch about it and I never heard back. My guess is somebody out there knows. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody knows. But yeah, I was just like, well, I guess I'm just not gonna know. Anyways, how did I actually finally come up with some numbers for it? Well, I cheated. I asked Rock, I asked Gemini, hey, can you figure out what I'm supposed to do with this thing? And both of them were like, I don't know. Then I said to it, I said, okay, looking at what other Supermotos run that are similar, like let's say like a 450 SMR, the old Husqvarna, we basically looked at a bunch of stuff and it was like, oh, they're all like super close in the Supermoto ones. You should be fine if you just run this, this, and this. I wrote it on my board, which I did it in inches and then converted to millimeters at the end just to be completely asinine. By the way, this could be a fun little playground, couldn't it? I need to bring some of the guys out here that like jumping off of loading docks. This was some warehouse they built and then like tore it down like a year later. Makes like no sense. Yeah, we came up with some numbers. I've got a really funny way of checking preload all by myself too, which requires a string and a piece of tape. Maybe I do need to make a video and show you guys how I do it. It's very awkward and silly, but it works. Oh, this is slick. Yeah, just letting off. It's making it slide when I let off. Bro, is that a piano? Oh, Panano. Not for bulls, Nettle. Do the keys work if it's upside down? Miss Spring, put this in your house. I'm out here with the truck. Take this home. Yeah, I don't know if I can flip it from there. That iron, those pieces are heavy down in the bottom. I need Trent with me. If Trent was here, we could do this. Should I call him? Tell him I'm stuck, and then just have him come out here and we do this. He's down here. Why am I walking? I got a bike that off-roads. Anyways, blah, blah, blah. AI and myself, and two different AIs for that matter, came up with a very similar number. I think they wanted around 90 to 100, 105. And I was at 115 mils. After playing with it now, it's at 95 mils? Like right in the middle of what they were suggesting. I had to spin that big guy around like maybe 3 or 4 times, the big ring. This don't go nowhere. It's actually sitting up slightly taller now. Take a quick breather here.
Here, while I'm taking a break real quick, look at this. I'm parked kind of half in the shade, half in the sun, right? Can't really go any more forward to get in the shade. But because the seat on the Sherco is so brilliant, just twist the knob, Zeus fastener, it's off. The seat's sitting over here now in the shade, and I'll put it on when I'm ready to ride.
The guy's an idiot.
Good little brake, little water brake, little pee brake. I'll reinstall my seat now. Why can't it be that easy? Everyone needs to make it that easy. The bike says it's 105, probably like the feels like temperature. Water temp, what is water temp? About 183. I need to also get some gas, y'all. My fuel is way down on here. Deer, there it goes. You can just see its ears there. I'll leave it be. I'm not gonna chase it or anything. But yeah, once I get to the track, I'll try to square this away a little better. You know, I brought my tool with me. I was gonna like sit here and play with the clickers, but to the best of I can tell, and I'm pushing like maybe 50%. I'm not in race leathers. It's not exactly the best conditions, you know. But honestly, like I was saying before, you know, some of these bikes, if people aren't going to adjust them, the only way they're going to do it is if they send it off. They might as well quit bothering coming with like adjustable suspension or make like 2 versions of these bikes, at least the mainstream bikes, you know. And to be fair, you do see that with some, but I think maybe it needs to be more mainstream. If you're not going to adjust it, just get the normal one. This thing holds 2.5 gallons, and I just put 2.29 in. So good call to come to the gas station. This dude is still mean mugging me over here in this blue shirt. I don't know what to think of that. I'm not gonna think much of it. Doesn't matter. But the guy in the black Silverado, I think he was trying to pull into the pump I was at, and like didn't know there was a bike there. Pulling kind of tight and had to like hit the brakes. I don't think he was gonna hit me, but yeah, a little close, you know. And I get it. I'm not even like mad. I'm like, oh yeah, you wouldn't expect a bike to be there. It wasn't like he came in with speed where it was dangerous. I didn't care. I barely even looked up at him, but he like stopped and like mean mugged me, man. He kind of mean mugged me there, and then he's just doing it again. He might just be doing the old man thing, you know, like sometimes old men, they stare at with their mouth kind of open, kind of gawking, breathing hard. As I think my conclusion is to say, play with your suspension, ain't a big deal. What are you gonna do, get it wrong?
What have I done?
Okay, we'll put it back the way it was then. Should I pull so hard it, guys? Haven't had a number of bikes with bad suspension, tuned suspension. I've done ones where I've played with them, one where I haven't as much, and I suggest you do it. Even my old DRZ, it was an old S model I converted. You know, there's things you can do in there. There's cheap stuff. If you guys want, let me know. Maybe I'll film it next time I play with one of these things. If enough of y'all ask. It's really nice when these things are actually set up for you. And honestly, for you is a variable. You know what I'm saying? For you, even if someone's the same weight, physicality, whatever as you are, y'all ride different, do things different. I think it's really funny that like the pro suspension builders ask you how old you are. Why would they ask that? This old man we're gonna, oh, I'm good, man. Give me the same suspension the 20-year-old has. I don't need the same suspension the 20-year-old has. There's some carts. I think maybe they're back down this way. There's some old carts. This obviously is collapsed since last time I was here. Probably shouldn't stand on this, but you know, I mean, what am I in the element of this? Penny on the back of an elephant. Glad I kept the 360 going and my helmet on because I might die coming down this. It's pretty loose. I almost thought about riding the bike up here. If you're watching this, go ahead and dial 9-1. And when I fall down, you dial 1 again. It'd be that age, I'm gonna fall down, and that's gonna be it. Jake's dead. Got me breathing hard. Whew, just try stuff, man. The preload thing is like this, step 1. And honestly, to do that, you probably will need like a little dead blow or a little ball peen hammer with a long punch. You should really use a brass punch. I like when they put these motorcycle only blocks in. Kind of weird that there's cars just above us here. Yeah, I think that's gonna be good till we get to the track. Play with your own suspension, and if you have any questions about your suspension, I'll help you set it up. But we're gonna need to talk a lot, so jump in my Discord and chat with me in there. And that's where I get you, because you gotta join my Patreon or YouTube members and get into the correct tier, and you can chat with me. But you can call me. People have done such things. All right, y'all. Later. Goodbye.
Stop it.